from. We are back with another tournament match from the T1 community. In this match, we have a little bit of deja vu. Because on the current Survivor team, we have Team Favoured, who did have an unfortunate circumstance. I can't really go without spoiling it. I'm going to have to spoil. There's no way around it. Team Favoured did lose the last match. That was the first match of the tournament. They're going to be in the loser bracket. They're going to be facing Team No1 in this match. Once we've loaded in here, I'll go over the rosters. But firstly, we can't be rude. We're going to have to introduce everybody. My name's Venson, Vensu, whatever you want to call me. Ven is the easiest. We have a co-caster, as usual, Jade. Say hello.
Well, sorry, I was saying in stream, not in Discord.
That's fine. Wherever you want to. And we also have a cameraman who's streaming purely for YouTube, which will be Midnight, who is also the server owners. So as usual, got to give credit where credit is due. We couldn't do this without Midnight servers. Just going to be loading in now. I'm expecting a good match here. As we saw from the previous match, the first match of the tournament, we saw a good performance from... We saw a very close match, actually, to be fair. It was very back and forth. They put up a good fight. They didn't lose by very much. And I am on the Survivor team, so I should not be. Jade, you're in infected as well. So, a roster rundown. Would you like to give a roster rundown, Jade, of survivors and infected? Team Favoured versus Team No1.
Oh, so you want me to say the infected?
Yeah, the players we have on both teams. Start with the survivors, Team Favoured.
Okay.
Who do we have?
So we have in Favoured team Madara, Roddy, Zero, Grochard. How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Krychax.
Grochard, okay. And is that other team Noah and I don't know.
Team No1.
Yeah, team No1 was the No1. Muda was the other names.
Yeah, they've got some confusing names actually. To be fair, because the Infinity guy is not actually Infinity. He is actually, I think, AE, just AE. And then you've got, I think you got Nay, Mini, and Muda. Or is it Midi and Muna? So these are your rosters tonight, folks. As per last time, same with the winners bracket. So this will be a loser bracket, so it will be on Parish again. So when we get to map 4, you'll hear me talking for like 20 minutes straight about how devastating the map 4 crescendo is. I'm sure everybody's gotten used to that by now. Need a cigarette, mix a drink, drink the drink, go to the toilet again. Okay, we're gonna need to have a few stories. If he needs 2 hours, then I need to think of some stories.
Well, there's an Eurovision contest going on.
Sorry, what was that?
An Eurovision contest is going on, I think.
Oh, that makes sense.
Also, Finland against Canada in ice hockey.
Oh, yeah, but it's Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 is more important.
No.
I mean, we've got to get our priorities straight. We need to make sure that we're prioritizing the right things in life. And right now, the most important thing in anybody's mind, it has to be this Left 4 Dead 2 tournament.
Gosh.
No distractions. You can't afford distractions. This is important. It's serious business. For the first attack here, leading straight outside of the safe room, we have a tri-cap, which will be a smoker, jockey, and boomer, coupled with... No, that's not a tri-cap. The tri-cap is the smoker, jockey, charger, coupled with the boomer. I'm going to get my spec cut up. There we go. Oh, lovely. Love that. Looking like we're going to have a 3 Uzi 1 shotgun setup. Just got a little bit distracted by that that spray there in the safe room. Is that Lion King or something? I don't know. That's interesting. Still waiting on a player, so so while we're waiting, I just want to give a quick reminder of who is running the tournament. We do have Zero Gravity, who is called Zero right now. He's got some special letters in his name, but he is one of the organisers of the tournament, who will be on your current Survivor team playing coach. We also have, obviously, the server owner, Midnight. We also have Shira and Stonka, who are kind of co-running the tournament alongside Zero. I believe this is about the second week of the tournament so far. So we're getting into the loser bracket. This is a little bit of an intense situation for both of the teams here. The reason why is as I've said, they are in the loser bracket. The tournament is double elimination, but these guys have already been eliminated once, which means that after this match, only one team can move forward. The other team will be out of the tournament. So, you know, no pressure or anything. I just have to wait and see how this pans out. They have a good tri-cap here. They've got some good separation possibility. Ideally, you're going to want a death charge, but it very rarely works. Generally, teams know how to combat that. The charge is waiting on ground level, though. He's waiting, whether he's just AFK or not, I'm not sure, but he is waiting.
It might work if the Boomer succeeds in 3 guys.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to the Boomer, really. I'm a broken record by this point. The Boomer is very important in both Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2. Even with the addition of the Spitter into Left 4 Dead 2, there's still been, you know, there is still a huge importance on the Boomer in tank fights, in kind of choke points, crescendos, all of that stuff. The Boomer is crucial. We have a ready up from the Infected team. Should be shortly followed by a ready up from the Survivor team. So, quick reminder, this is Team Favoured versus Team Number 1. Both fighting for their progression, because obviously they're both in the loser bracket, so one team loses and will be permanently out. I think the Charger was just kind of thinking about what he wants to do. He's now back on the roof. Oh no, she's gone. What will we do? Okay, well we just gotta keep rambling, I guess, until we've got these teams set up. Alcohol? Why would you drink alcohol? This is a lot at stake here. Priorities, people. Don't drink alcohol. Don't drink and play Left 4 Dead 2. Just like drinking and driving. Don't do it.
I think a lot of Left 4 Dead players are drinking or high.
It's just not a good idea though, because what happens when it's kind of like when you're steering the wheel of a car. If you are drunk, then you might charge to the right. You think you're charging to the right, but actually you charge to the left and just miss everybody. It's why you don't drink and play. You need that coordination. You know, how are you going to hit tank punches if you don't have that coordination behind you?
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, it might sound like I'm joking, but this is actually a really important life lesson here, folks. If you're going to play Left 4 Dead 2, don't drink. If anything, just don't drink at all. Not even water, just don't drink a thing. Just leave everything. And if it's a liquid, it's bad for you. No, just kidding.
Everything is bad for you.
Everything, just avoid everything.
Even the breathing is bad for you.
Even breathing, yeah. Nah, just kidding, guys. Don't stop breathing, please. And don't stop drinking water either. Water is good for you. It's actually the best liquid ever for you, so please keep drinking it. But not too much, because then you'll have to leave the game, you know. But then again, it goes to the same thing, right? You know, try not to drink during a game, because you might have to leave. Like, you got the tank and, oh no, I have to leave. I've got to go to the bathroom. And then you know, kind of messes up from there. This is what Left 4 Dead 2 has come down to, people. We're talking about drinking and playing Left 4 Dead 2, because we need to fill the silence somehow.
But this is actually Left for waiting.
Indeed. Well, they're readying up with 3 people. That's bold. Are they mad? else can we talk about? You see, I remember before actually in the last game there was a really interesting spot. It was as the survivors leave the safe room, right? So they're facing forward. To the left of them, there's an area there with 2 tables and what looks like a palm tree. I really liked what a team did before there, actually, with putting a smoker there. Because otherwise, there's not really many chances you can get to pull people, because in front, you know, there's not really a lot of separation, but no one would really expect the smoker to come from behind. So the only problem with that is, though, is that if he gets chipped but not killed, he just kind of has to stay there, because the survivors don't have to kill him. That was an interesting spot. What was the tank spawn? I mean, to be fair, it's a very small map anyway. Most of the tank fights end up in the same place. Normally what would happen is the tank spawn will give you enough time to get back to the safe room area. Not literally in the safe room, but kind of outside of it, by all the fences and the plant pots. I would say actually this is one of the shortest maps of all of Left 4 Dead 2. Actually, one of them. Generally, if you play it very well and you shut down the attacks, which is harder than it sounds, you know, you might get boomed, you might get delayed, you might get triple charged, quad charged. You know, you never know. But if you play it exceptionally well and you shut down every attack, normally there'll be kind of, excluding the tank, there'll be 1 attack at the safe room. You move forward. There'll be 1 attack at the balconies with the van up ahead, and then there'll be 1 more attack at the alarm car. So you're looking at about 3 attacks in total if you play this map really well. It is a very short map, but it's not that forgiving either. You know, there's lots of roofs, lots of places for everybody to go from on the infected team. And then again, I have to repeat myself, but the tank fight and the boomer, when you add it on to this map here, it can be quite rough. So for anybody unfamiliar with the T1 config, I'll just go over a few very quick little details. One of the most important things being the medkits. If you preserve a medkit and keep it all the way until you reach the safe room, you'll get 25 points per successful medkit. So if you save all of the medkits, you'll get a survival bonus per survivor, so 25 on normal vanilla. Added onto that, you'll get the bonus from the medkits. If you use a medkit, then you have no chance of reviving it. You won't get those points. You can get spare pills. You can get up to 4. They're randomly scattered, and sometimes you can get 1, sometimes you can get 4. Somewhere in between that range. But the pills do not award any bonuses. So even if you keep 4 pills each, it still won't give you any bonus. You have to keep the medkits. A few simple things as well, such as the tank. When the tank spawns, the distance points will freeze, so you can't actually run beyond the tank and keep achieving points. And also, if there's any water nearby, as you probably know, in Left 4 Dead 2, when you run over water, it will slow you. When the tank is spawned, that will be removing. So you can run through water and not be like 2 times as slow while the tank is in play. When he dies, it will return back to normal, but that's kind of a nice little feature as well. There are no tier 2 or tier 3 weapons. That includes even a defibrillator. There are no defibrillators. There's no grenade launchers. There's no aiming sights, no laser sights, no flame
grenades.
ammo.
Pipe bomb, pile, or Molotov.
Yeah, no pipe bombs, no Molotovs, none of that. Just the standard SMGs and the shotguns, both the chrome shotgun, the wooden shotgun, the silenced and the non-silenced SMGs. Those are the only weapons you have at your disposal. And of course, secondary weapons, which would be melee weapons or pistols or magnums or anything like that. Although some people get annoyed at me when I call it a magnum, but I don't actually know what the other words are.
Deagle.
Deagle, that's it, yeah. Because people don't like me when I call it magnum. They say it's wrong.
Well, depends what games you're playing. I mean, if you're a CSGO player or CS player, you use the Deagle.
Right, okay. I haven't really played CS myself. I've always called it magnum. I don't know why. I don't know where it actually comes from. But it does add a little bit of an interesting nature, I would say, to the game when you have, because back in the day, if anybody is from the olden days of Left 4 Dead 2, when there was a few configs called Fresh and Confogel and things like that, what they would have in those configs is they would have a sniper rifle or the regular hunting rifle. You would be allowed one per team, and basically that would kind of eliminate, when you have that, it would eliminate the possibility of playing a long tank, which a long tank is basically throwing rocks from a distance and the infected distracting the survivors so you can hit the rocks. In this, because there's no hunting rifle, that can sometimes be a good strategy. It just kind of depends on where you are. Obviously, on this map here, it's not very good at all. It's too small, really. But then you've got the map following this, Parish Map 2, with the very open area with the hedges. That can actually prove to be a good area to do a long tank. But by the same token, you can also play very well, and you can keep clearing the rocks, and because it's an open area as well, just play with a black screen. I don't think that's a good idea. I did that once, actually. I was it was ages ago. It's like 5-6 years ago or something. I was in a game, and what we did is we had 3 people with the monitors on, and I switched my monitor off, and everybody was like giving me directions. I don't recommend it because it's not as fun as it sounds, but it gives you a little challenge anyway. It kind of improves your communication skills. Because I think I was running into walls a lot. What on earth is going on here?
I don't know. Who are they missing?
Minnie, she said BRB. Disappeared, and we have no sign of her ever since she has forsaken us. Oh, she had sound issues, so it's a little bit of a technical difficulty on the side of team number 1. And we were warned about the potentially slow reboot times of Minnie. But I think most people will be kind of used to this by now. This is quite standard Left 4 Dead 2. Quite a bit of downtime, bit of waiting periods here and there, especially at the beginning of games. That's not a mini. That's an imposter. Reloading. Remember, guys, the streams are going to be where you're going to want to watch it from. The server is capped to 11 slots, which is to account for, unless he's a sub, but just to account for the 3 spectators, which would be Jade, me, and Midnight. It seems like he's a sub, actually, so never mind. I will... Oh, he can't. Oh, getting interesting. He's tagged up, but can he do it, though? So, if this goes down, there'll be a little bit of a roster change from the looks of things. It will, but it will not be him. I think it was just a bit of a practical joke, an imposter. I don't know about you though, but if I was in this game, I'd be feeling the pressure a little bit, because I've been in this situation before where you're in a tournament and you know that if you lose, you're out, and in a way that makes you play a lot better. But sometimes people with the anxiety, it can actually make them play worse, and you gotta hope that you're not that type of person. Because I'm very fortunate in the sense that I can actually use the anxiety from a situation like that to make myself perform better. But obviously there is such thing as stage fright, there's a such thing as anxiety getting the better of you. We did actually see that. There was an example of that in the previous game on Team Favoured, where their attacks were kind of 2 people going in, followed by 2 people, and then followed by 2 people again. and that can kind of be a direct result of anxiety getting the better of you. You make snap decisions, which kind of aren't really in your best favor, but you know, favored. Oof, unintentional pun not intended. She better not. I'm gonna lose my voice by the end of this. It's Ramble City. Oh, loading. Oh, we've progress, people.
Finally.
We're making progress. We're moving forward. We're moving in the right direction. It's it's a mini step forward.
Of the announcement.
Okay.
Oh
No! No Steam logon, don't lie to me. Well, I mean, you know, there could be a chance that this is the game here. 10-0. That's it. We're done. Team Favoured wins. 10-0. That's it. Team number 1 didn't even get 1 point. They just died in the safe room every time. Oh, can you imagine that? Dying in the safe room every time because you're clearing commons and you just shoot each other so much that you just incap everybody and then you just get 0 points. So I'll go back to the reminder I was giving before, and that's that we are not going to be allowing spectators in this match. Because with that, there is the potential to cheat. There is the potential, because it's not that heavily monitored, there is the potential for spectators to be in a voice communication channel with one of the teams. So that's kind of one of the reasons that we don't allow spectators, because it can actually create an unfair advantage. So we're only allowing 11 slots in this match. If you want to watch the match, then please stay on the stream. Try not to join if a slot opens. If a slot opens, that is just simply because somebody is trying to rejoin in the game. The slots are only reserved for the spectators and the players. But anyway, it looks like we might be going live, though I probably jinxed it by saying that, and then suddenly we'll be waiting another 10 minutes, but let's hope not. Oh, we have a smiley face. It looks like we're moving forward. They might have a bit of a setup change, actually. No, they don't. No, they've still got the same setup, which would be a smoker, jockey, charger, and a boomer. Lerp. Just needs a lerp change, and then we'll be ready to go. I must apologize, by the way, guys, if you may or may not have noticed my my throat is a tiny bit not sore, but a little bit on the breaky, cracky side. But not enough to stop talking. I like talking. In case it wasn't obvious. Little bit of instructions going on how to get the lerp down to 0. I think about 10 hordes have spawned in this time frame. And that wall over there has taken a beating. There is a wall there with about 1 billion bullet shots in it.
yeah, I just noticed also.
They really don't like that wall. Is this a troll or what? Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Finland has scored 1 in Finland versus Canada.
My trigger finger got tired.
Damn.
It's gonna turn into a sport stream soon.
Yeah, gonna.
We're just gonna commentate the game instead. Finland versus Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, she changed it! There we go. We're going live soon. Are we restarting? Yeah, I suppose that makes sense if we're going to restart the chapter. There we are, folks. Hopefully no more delays. All we can do, really, is apologize. But hopefully we'll get this game underway. Hopefully there won't be any more delays, and hopefully we're going to get started. Due to the chapter restart, there might be a change in the setup, the infected setup, but there is a lot of water. You can actually jump into the water and sack your spawns, which just means intentionally killing your spawns so that you get a different one.
You stay safe, brother.
Team Favoured on your Survivor team will be beginning first to kick things off. Team number 1 will be on the infected team. Plans the first attack for 1 hour. That sounds about right, yeah. Well, the first attack generally has the most communication in it. Right, spec cut, there we go. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a change now. They have a smoker charger and a hunter instead of a jockey, followed by a boomer. Survivors have readied up. We're just waiting for the infected now. Anytime now. See, I don't actually think I've seen Team Number 1 play before, so it's kind of a little bit of new territory for me here. I know. I've obviously seen Team Favoured play.
Yes, him too.
And they put up a good fight. Unfortunately, weren't able to take the win, but they did put up a good fight there. There we go. We have the ready up. We're going live. Finally, we're going live. Boomer will be on the roof to the right of the survivors as they're looking out. There'll be a hunter pre-spawned on the ground to the left. There'll be a smoker and a charger from the same location. Boomer's rocketing in. They didn't notice him in time, but they did get the melee off. Charger moving in. He pins Nick as well as Poach, actually, by the smoker. Hunter getting some temporary ticks of damage as well. They've taken a lot of damage already, actually. They made a little bit of a mistake there as well with meleeing the hunter off. What happens with that is sometimes the hunter can get an instant repounce and cause more havoc. But overall, it wasn't really a mistake on the survivors. It was more kind of a really well-coordinated infected attack there. Nice little crown there. While I was rambling there, I missed the witch. But nonetheless, it was a very good infected attack. Nick is at half health. They have a charger, a boomer, hunter, and spitter. So they don't have a tri-cap, but they do have a boomer-spitter combo. With a hunter charger is actually quite good, especially with the narrow alleyways coming up here. Hunter's waiting on the balcony. We've got a boomer waiting as well. There is everybody's on the roof basically. It looks like they're all gonna shoot off from the roof, but that is unfortunately where all of the survivors are looking. So they might want to vary that a bit and try and go somewhere else. If everybody goes from the same spot, the survivors don't have to look anywhere else. Tanker spawns. Spitter's moving in. Charger's moving in the alleyway, but he gets caught, so he wasn't able to get down. Charger's going to reposition. There's still a boomer there. He's going to try and get the rocket off, but he actually doesn't manage to get the rocket, and he's popped. Charger moving in, lands onto Ellis, gets 1 tick of damage, but is cleared. The rock is now above them. No, the tank, sorry. The tank throws rocks. The tank is just a rock. Just throwing some rocks from the little room there. Survivors have already moved their way back into the safe room area, which is the most ideal spot to fight the tank on this parish map 1. He might want to go for the car. I'm not sure what he's going to do. They have a boomer. They have a jockey and a smoker as well, so this is kind of dependent on separation. Smoker lands onto Coach, but he's in the middle of everybody. Nice distraction though, actually, from the smoker, which allowed the boomer to land. The tank's going to move out. He's at 4,600 health. He's going to throw a rock. All of the infected pile in. Nice rock there, brilliantly done. He reset his rage meter, and he landed a lovely little rock there onto Nick.
Yeah,
Nick
he's
was
stealing the first control.
Exactly, yeah, it was really well played. He nearly landed a rock again onto Nick. Nick is going to use his medkit because he's slow. which means that he would need only one punch before he goes down. Very well played by the tank there, actually, as well as the infected. The boomer allowed that to happen, and that's what I mean about the boomer. They have another boomer now, also a hunter and a charger. I'm not sure if they're going to continue the long tank or if they're going to move the tank in. He's at 3,600. He's throwing a rock, which does land. Very nice rock. The boomer gets a boom from the roof onto Nick. He's continuing to throw the rocks. He's at 2,000 health. He doesn't land this rock though. Charger moving in for coach here. He's not able to land. He gets a temporary stumble. The rock doesn't land, unfortunately. Hunter onto Ellis, but cleared very quickly. They're going to continue the long tank, it looks like, which is sort of working, but they still have 3 medkits, and the tank is at 1,800. So now that the tank is very low, they can't really send him in without him dying very quickly. So at this point, they kind of have to play a long tank. And here we see no boomer, just the tri-cap, a smoker, charger, and a jockey. Tank is going to patiently wait here. He's chopping around a bit. He might be having some connection issues.
Yeah, we also noticed.
Smoker and Jockey are moving in now. Jockey tries to go for Nick, but he gets shut down by the tents. The Smoker is shut down as well. Tank is looking like he might want to move in. Charger gets stumbles off of Rochelle there, but she's pinned between the Charger and the tank. She gets punched there, and a nice little juke there. He gets an in-cap onto Rochelle. I like what he did there. He climbed up the ladder and then jumped back down.
Yeah, the fake climbing.
Yeah, he faked it, and he caught them off guard there, and he got an in-cap as well. So she's temporary HP, Rochelle. So far they have a spitter and a smoker and a jockey, so we're going to see what the final spawn is in 5 seconds. That was actually quite well played. Surprisingly, they made a long tank pay off. Smoker tries to go, but he's shut down by 3 people just instantly. So they're going to have to wait with the charger now. I think the smoker probably should have waited there. There's a jockey spitter, both spawned up and waiting above them in the alleyway. They're sending Rochelle in first. Charger's moving in. He lands onto Ellis. The spit lands onto Ellis as well. The jockey does land onto him, but gives him some temporary immunity, which means that he was not in-capped from that. Jockey probably should have gone for somebody else there. Boomer is waiting behind the fence. He's going to try and get a boom. Oh, nice shutdown there by Krychax playing Nick there. Great stuff. He saved them a lot of hassle there, because if that boomer landed, then they would have had to have potentially been delayed a lot more. They are trying to save their medkits, but they have to be careful of the fact that one charger scratch will in-cap both Rochelle and Ellis. The alarm car is set off. Smoker's waiting above. Hunter goes for a damage pounce. He doesn't get the damage pounce, but still lands onto Nick. The Smoker is shut down. There's still a charger spitter, but those are the only remaining infected. They're going to want to get some in-caps here. And he dies before he even hits the ground. The spitter's going for some delay. He successfully gets the delay, but it won't be enough, I don't think. They're clearing the horde very well, and they're going to make it into the safe room here with 3 of their medkits. They did very well to preserve those medkits, actually. So they also got a crown on the Witch, which will award them an additional 25 points. The survival bonus gives them a good little bonus there as well. So all in all, the infected did play well. They got a good first attack, and the tank did probably the best he could have with the long tank. But the survivors still managed to make it with 3 medkits, despite 2 of them actually being near 1 HP by the end. It was very risky, actually. I quite liked what they did there. Okay, my HUD's bugging out. Apparently Midnight is on the infected team. He's a spy. Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit more delay here, which I'm hoping won't be an every round occurrence. I'm hoping we can speed things up a little bit here.
You don't evacuate people with fighter jets.
So it looks like they're not going to change their setup either, which I wouldn't myself personally, because there's a charger, smoker, boomer, and a hunter, which is a very good setup. It's one of the most ideal setups. Plus, the hunter can get up to about maybe 15 damage max on this map here. The invisible ceiling is very low, so you can't pounce exceptionally high. But you can get maybe 10 to 15 damage with the Hunter. Coupled with the Charger and Smoker separation, it can be devastating. And then, of course, the infamous Boomer. Hunter is pre-spawned on the roof to the right. There is a Smoker looking to get separation. He separates Ellis. Nice cover. Chargers covers as well. Nice Boomer there. They're getting exceptional damage here. They still haven't cleared the Charger. The Boomer's still scratching around, being an absolute pain. He gets a stumble. He gets a double boom from the stumble. Ellis is slow. Oh, this is crucial. This is brilliant. They're already in a very bad position for this tank. In an even worse position, actually, than the previous team. What they need to do here now is probably rush to the Witch and try and get her killed, because they don't want to give the Infected enough time to attack with her. But they haven't done it yet, so it looks like they're going to have an attack for the Witch. They have a Charger.
Also, they have
Hunter.
to use a medkit.
Exactly, yeah, they need to, because the tank is up soon. A Hunter is waiting by the Witch. He's going to try and scratch her to increase her aggravation. They're going to try and remote crown her. Hunter moving in. The Hunter gets the perfect distraction. Now that she's incapped. The Hunter landed onto Rochelle, which prevented her from getting the remote crown. So they will not get a damage bonus, or a crown bonus, sorry, for the Witch. And the Boomer's moving in now from behind, gets a nice little boom onto 1, which is all you really need for the distraction. He nearly gets a stumble boom, actually, onto Rochelle, but Rochelle uses her medkit. Ellis was probably going to need to use his too, because there aren't any pills in sight.
Reloading.
They already have a Smoker and a Hunter. Third spawn coming up in 1 second. Fourth spawn coming up in 7 seconds. We have a Charger, Hunter, Smoker combo. We have a Tri-Cap. Very devastating for this attack here. Hunter and Smoker are both waiting. Smoker's going to try and get some separation onto Rochelle there. Oh, the Charger misses his target, unfortunately. There's a Spitter still waiting, as well as a Hunter. Separation Smoke onto Rochelle. Very nicely cleared, though. Hunter is shut down. Charger is nowhere to be seen. The Smoker was also cancelled as well, his pull. So they have 2 medkits, but one of them was going to have to be used. I like what they were doing with that attack there. Smoker's going to sacrifice his spawn. He's going to take a katana to the face, and he's going to die. That rock was quite close to landing. The survivors are going to move back into the safe room area. Nearly landing a rock there. You know, actually, if you hit the car with a rock and it hits a survivor, it actually incaps them. Sometimes I've actually been incapped by that. It's quite an interesting little...
They switch to the tank. Madara gave the tank to Zero.
Ah, okay. Well, Zero is actually quite a good player. One of the most experienced players here, I would say. So I can understand why they would have done that. So they have a Charger, and they have a Boomer. I don't think they wanted that Jockey. I think they just kind of wanted to get rid of it. They want something else. Which I agree with. I think Jockeys are better for more open areas. Just have to see how they play this. If the Boomer lands, then they are screwed. 6,000 health on the tank still. He hasn't taken any damage yet. Oh, he's taken a little bit now. But that's because he's moving in. In goes the tank. They're going to have to be careful of the Boomer here. That's the most important thing. The tank is going to get a nice double punch onto Rochelle and Nick. He's going to pin Rochelle into the corner there. One more punch and she is down. And she is down. 3 people remaining. Rocket Boom lands. Getting onto 2 people. Charger onto Nick here. Smoker onto Ellis. He was cleared. Nick is going up, but he's going to be incapped straight away. That's 2 people incapped. Tank is going to pin Ellis. This could be over. One more punch onto Ellis will incap him. He's down. Tank at 600 health, moving down. The rock lands onto Coach. One more shot will kill him. So Coach needs to be very quick here. The Smoker is nearly up. His tongue is nearly respawned. Ellis is nearly dead. Looks like Ellis will die. So that's 1 person down.
Hunter's gonna get the spawn.
Jockey moving in for Coach. He's going to drop down from the roof above. He clears the tongue, but the Jockey lands. The 2 incap survivors can try and clear here, but they played that very well. It's over. That will be the end for them. So we have the current scores will be for Team Favoured 600 and for Team Number 1 244. Now, Parish is not a forgiving map. There are plenty of chances for a comeback, so I'm absolutely not saying that they've lost. They absolutely have not lost. They just need to play very well on Infected, which is what they're going to play. in this upcoming round. They have proven themselves to be good at infected. They did do some good attacks. So all they need to do is communicate, combine their efforts, get some good infected attacks in, and basically try and kill the survivors before they can get to the safe room. Which, plenty of chances, you know, there's a crescendo, and there's alleyways, there's all sorts of good chances here. Just getting the spec card up. So, as of now, there's 3 people loaded in. We have a boomer, hunter, and a smoker. So already some potential for some separation, but without the water to sacrifice your spawn, you can't change your setup to what you want. Pretty standard standard setup here with the smoker. The smoker's waiting behind the little broken car as you leave the safe room to the right. Generally, what teams will do there is they'll pull the first person that leaves the safe room, and everybody else will pile in and try to stop that smoked survivor from being saved.
Or baiting with the hunter.
Yeah. But then also, this map is actually very good for, like you say, baiting the attack. You can kind of run out and run back in, and if you hear somebody spawn, you can't hear the hunter spawn, but you can hear everybody else spawn, then they give away their setup, so then you can actually set up for how you want to deal with it. If you know the smoker is to the right, you can all rush out at the same time and kill the smoker, then nobody will get separated. You know, there's plenty of things you can do. I say this first attack is kind of a psychological warfare, because a lot of it is kind of patience. Like, who's going to attack first? Will the survivors leave first, or will the infected attack first? And you know, it's who can bait who.
Indeed.
I mean, I don't know who this guy is, but I like his name. Garlic bread.
Are you streaming? Are you streaming?
Ah, poor guy.
I bet he was drunk or something.
I think he said he was streaming, but you see, the thing is that's not good, because we already have 2 streams, one for YouTube and one for, you know, commentary. You know, there's 2 streams that you can go on, both have the same content, so an extra stream is not good. You know, it's gonna separate the audience too much. I mean, obviously there are 2 streams right now, but they both have the same content and they're both for a different purpose. So having 2 streams in this case is not the worst thing, because they both do the same thing. Hunter's already spawned up and waiting in the hands of the Infinity guy, otherwise known as AE.
Did she leave again?
I think so.
Okay. Finland is winning against Canada 3-1.
I was going to ask about that, actually.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that is kind of like, we've got to have something to fill in the silence, haven't we? So there you have it, folks. Finland are beating Canada.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, Finland lose to Denmark, so...
Ah. What sport is it? I don't remember.
Ice hockey.
Ah, hockey, okay. So, quick recap of this map. As you leave the safe room and you get out to where the hedges are, it's a very open area. So it's kind of unlucky if you get a tank there. Unless you are very good at infected, it's very hard to play the tank there, because it's a very open area. Boomers are nearly impossible to land, because it's very open unless you have very good distraction. But then after that, you have a nice little alleyway attack. Following forward, you have the crescendo, which spawns not an endless horde, but it spawns a very large horde that seems endless because it hits you very hard. Then after that, you got the little house attack with the doors that open after you trigger the alarm or untrigger the alarm. Nice little alleyway attack moving through there, and then you have the safe room. So fairly difficult map, plenty of chances for the infected, which is what they want to capitalize on. They're going to want to capitalize on as many chances as they can get a hold of, because as it stands, they have a fairly large deficit. And they're going to want to try and reduce that deficit as much as they can by killing the survivors before they make it to the safe room, and then in turn making it further than the previous survivors did. Yeah, we'll be here like tomorrow. It'll be Sunday and we're still here. And here we go. Minnie has loaded in. She does have a spawn time, but though 13 seconds, so we're gonna have to wait with that before we get things going. But once the spawn is spawned, we will be ready to go. 2 more seconds, and we'll find out what the final spawn is, which will be a spitter. So they have a hunter, smoker, spitter, and boomer. This really comes down to the separation, because they don't have a charger spitter combination. All they can really do is separate with the smoker, cover with the hunter and the boomer, and use the spit to create chaos. Still haven't gotten a ready up here from the infected. Tick tock, tick tock. There we are. We're ready. We're going. Map number 2. Finally. They have a horde actually, so they're going to be waiting for that to be cleared before they make a move. They have to be careful they don't get pulled out of the safe room though. Not many common infected actually. They'll have no problems clearing that. Smoker gets cleared before he can even get the separation. Boomer gets a rocket boom from above, lands onto 2 people, but they're back into the safe room. Hunter tries to land onto somebody in the doorway. Spitter moves in, Hunter tries to combine with it, but he's unable to do so, so they don't really get much damage out of it. The Spitter delayed, but the delay won't really add up to much, because they still have 17 seconds on the final spawn timer. Jockey is up, but he is a little bit staggered. The second spawn coming up now is a smoker. Survivors just making their way to the left side. Finally, we have a boomer and a spitter. So they have a smoker, jockey, boomer, spitter. Arguably the worst setup in Left 4 Dead 2, but we also have a tank. Arguably the best setup in Left 4 Dead 2. Ooh, nice little rock skeet there by Nick. He nearly took that to the face. Jockey lands onto him as well, but gets cleared. Nice boomer onto 2 people. The tank is going to stay behind and keep throwing rocks though, because he only has the boomer to go with. He doesn't have anything else. All the other infected are dead. Trying to pressure that tank. But they're not able to get very much out of it. 400 damage so far onto the tank. He's at 5,600 health. The rock nearly lands onto Nick again there, but they did a good job clearing it. Yeah, they're doing a good job clearing these rocks. So they have a jockey, smoker, and a hunter. Looking like they're going to continue the long tank. Hunter is moving in for some distraction on the walls. He might get shut down though. He gets shut down. Smoker gets some separation onto Coach momentarily. They're going to clear that. And they're not going to worry about anything else. The rock barely misses, so they didn't land a rock out of that. 35% frustration on the first control. Oh, he misses his punch there onto Nick. He gets a nice punch onto Coach, and he's going to retreat, but he already took 3,000 damage. So 1 punch for 50% of his health. Survivors are playing very well here. Rock gets curved around, but the boomer's already spawned up. He's going to move back and try and get a respawn and a reposition. Hunter moving in for distraction. In the distance here, he's in the tree. Jockey's behind the walls. Jockey tries to land onto Nick. He gets shot down. Nice skeet onto the Hunter there by Nick. Boom is the final remaining spawn. Tank is at 2,400 health onto his second pass. Boomer spawns behind the tree but gets shut down, so they don't have a boom to work with. They're trying to surround the tank here from every angle. He doesn't land a punch onto Coach. He lands one onto him finally. He's at 1,000 health. They need to be careful here. So they're going to move back into the open area. Tank at 900 health here, so he's not looking in a good position. But they have made one person slow at least, so they've got something out of it. All the survivors are now repositioned in the gazebo. The only replenishment for ammo they have is an SMG. So anybody playing shotgun, if they run out of ammo, they have to switch to an SMG. Smoker looking to separate Nick. He does get the separation. Charger's going to scratch him as well. This is very good. Nice little separation from the Charger there. The Tank's going to go on that. Hunter landed onto Rochelle in the back. He's in-capped, so that's what they needed. They needed something good. They've used a medkit, and they may have to use another one. Tank at 500 health. They're going to chase him down. He's at 300 health. Obviously, the survivors don't know this, but they're going to try and get him down. He's trying to keep himself alive as much as he can. He's at 7 health. 1%. A 7 health tank here. He's going to run the tank back. And they do get the kill onto him. He is down. But they did well. That Smoker-Charger combo is devastating when you smoke somebody in the distance and the Charger scratches him. That's continuous ticks of damage from the Smoker and 10 damage per tick from the Charger as well. So that could be 2 medkits being used unless they find pills, which they may be able to. We have a Smoker. A Boomer moving in, getting a nice boom onto 2 people there from the bridge above. They have a Hunter, Jockey, Smoker. Jockey landing onto Rochelle in the back, but they notice it very quickly. He's reloading, actually, so they get into the alleyway. Maybe they can get some separation here, or some cover. There is a nice little smoke there onto Nick in the back, or in the front, sorry. 25 damage pounce
nice
onto Rochelle. And the in-cap. Oh, who was that? That was Muda. Very, very nice 25 damage pounce there by Muda. They were so distracted by everything that was going on. They may have to use 2 medkits. If they keep this pressure up, they could even wipe them at the crescendo. They have another Boomer waiting on the bridge. Maybe he can go and get another boom. We'll have to see. He's going to do just that. He gets another boom onto 2 people, so that's 2 people boomed again. Spitter is up, waiting for a spawn. They have one medkit down, so they have 2 medkits remaining. Charger, Jockey, and Spitter are up. Charger moving in from the back, but he gets shut down. 4 melee weapons are just going to brutalize him. Spitter tries to get some distraction, or some separation, sorry, or delay even. So they have found a spare set of pills there, which Madeira, aka Rochelle, is going to take. I still really enjoyed seeing that 25 damage pounce. That was very well played. Got the in-cap as well. Jockey spawned up above them, trying to laugh around, get some distraction. They have a Boomer again. The Boomers have been working for them very well. But the Boomer's just trying to look for a spot to get the boom from behind the fence. Jockey moving in, he gets some good distraction here, but the Boomer can't get an angle. He gets a boom onto 1. The Spitter's going to separate them a little bit. Spitter moving in for scratches as well as a Smoker. No survivors are slow though, so they're going to keep moving forward. They have 3 Uzis and 1 shotgun. They're going to try and hold on to that medkit. There is a spare set of pills as well on top of the scaffolding where the alarm is. Charger's trying to move up and get a spawn onto here. He might be able to. He gets the spawn. He gets the charge onto Nick there. So he stops him from deactivating the event. Hunter moving in, trying to pounce somebody in the Spit. Boomer moves in as well, gets a boom onto 1. The Spit doesn't get much damage, so they're going to climb up and deactivate the alarm now, which will be Nick. He's going to pick up those pills and probably give it to Rochelle, who is the only temporary health survivor right now. Which he does just that. She's going to be able to take those and continue moving. They're going to be waiting out this horde here. Before the doors open, they'll be open shortly. The next attack is up. There's a Smoker, Spitter, Jockey, and a Charger.
They go inside.
Probably, yeah. They still have 2 medkits, so they need to try and get a very good attack here. They have 1 attack here. Yeah, they have a Witch as well. Yeah, the Witch is in the very standard spot of just outside, by the buses. The smoker's moving in though. He's going to get a smoke onto Coach. They haven't cleared him yet. They just managed to clear him now, and he's going to get himself shut down. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there because only the smoker. Yeah, only the smoker attacked there.
I think they had a lot of miscommunication here.
Yeah, I mean they're playing well, but they could be doing a little bit better. But let's see. I mean, they have a witch to deal with, you know, the survivors. Let's see how the Infected play. Moving in for the remote crown. He gets the remote crown. Very nicely done. Charger moves in, gets a charge spit combo. And the Boomer stumble in the spit. He may be in-capped. He is in-capped, so they got something out of it. Even though he crowned the witch and he got the bonus points, he still got in-capped. So they got something at the very least. He is now temporary HP, and they have no spare sets of pain pills, so they either have to heal him and delay themselves or keep moving, which they're going to keep moving. They're going to clear the spitter, so that's 1 spawn down and 3 spawns up, which is a Hunter, Charger, and a Smoker. Hunter's in the back, as well as the Smoker. Smoker's going to try and pull somebody in the back. Hunter moving in, maybe going to try and get a damage bounce. Charger's in the back here. Hunter's nearly lands, but gets shut down. There's a Smoker in the back as well as a Charger. They're going to try and separate them. They need to be quick though, because they're going to make it in, which they do. They make it in. All 4 people survived. They only got 2 medkits preserved, but they still did very good there. And obviously, adding on to the bonuses they got, they also get the Witch Crown bonus as well. The unfortunate thing is, though, I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but the thing is, the Charger got stumbled on the spit on the Witch. He tried to get some distraction and he tried to stop them from crowning the Witch. But here's a little tip, guys. If the Witch is running and you're spawned as infected, if you go in front of her or hit her, you will be stumbled because she knocks everybody out of the way. So make sure that you kind of avoid that. Because unfortunately what we saw there is the Charger wasn't able to actually distract them, so he ended up getting stumbled. Same setup as before. There's a Smoker, Hunter, Boomer, and a Spitter. So again, all about the separation. Team Favoured are clearly keeping up some good communication here, so we'll have to see how they fare with this attack. All 4 people readied up. They're very eager. Pretty much an identical setup, really, with the Smoker. Smoker going from the broken car, trying to pull the first person out. They're going to clear a few commons before they leave the safe room. Just have to make sure they don't get baited, because that's the most common occurrence in this attack. Smoker going to pull Ellis, but Hunter actually steals the target there. Nice little stumble in the spit. So they get some damage, but not very much actually. Everything is cleared. All they need to do is make sure that they move, and then make sure that they cover distance and not let the infected get their spawns up. It's never a good idea to actually stand still and clear commons. You have to run while clearing them, which is very difficult, but if you learn to do it, you can cover distance a lot better. Rochelle's in the back though, so they need to be careful. They have a little bit of separation, but it won't matter too much because they're now in the open area. Tank has now spawned. And they have a Charger, Hunter, and a Jockey. So the tank will be in the hands of Madeira. I think that the Hunter was chasing the tank there, for some reason. That was interesting. Everybody spawned up. Rock nearly lands into Nick. In moves the Hunter. He gets dead stopped at the tree, and then he gets shut down. Tank and the Charger, sorry, lands 2 scratches. No rocks landed, I don't think. So he's still at 6,000 health, basically. Still at basically at 100%. So what they're going to need to do here is either pressure the tank or break line of sight and make sure that he can't see you. Because if he can see you, then he won't lose any frustration. So that is what they're doing. They're hiding. And he's losing 5% every second. He's back to 80% though. He can see somebody. They have a Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker, so no Boomer again. Looking like they're going to keep up the long tank, but they're in a good position here. If they can keep their health at this, in moves the Hunter and the Jockey, all from different locations. Jockey is shut down though. Hunter's on the gazebo. The rock was actually skeeted before it landed, so he didn't get the replenishment. Hunter's trying to get a damage bounce. He's not able to, but the rock lands onto Nick. Everybody was looking at the Hunter, and nobody was looking at the tank, so he landed the rock. They're going to pressure the tank now, which they need to do something like that. The rock doesn't land, but they can't actually continue pressuring because the spawns are coming up again. They have a charger so far, and a boomer, so now they have a boomer. Which makes rocks a lot easier to land if you can get them right. Boomer's going to be waiting in the standard spot behind the tree.
Using rock.
Yeah, but they're going to be covering it. Charger is spawned behind the wall there. They're trying to shut him down, but they're not able to get the angle. Jockey moving in for distraction. Charger doesn't land, but the boomer does land. They took it too long to notice him because the distraction was very good from the jockey and the charger, who are still alive actually. Now both of them have died. Rock moving in. They need to be careful of these rocks. The boomer is devastating here. If the boomer lands, they have to focus on the common infected. They need to watch out for this rock here, which they barely miss. That was actually a little bit fortunate. Now they're shutting down the rocks efficiently, but the tank has only taken 400 damage. Or 600, sorry. So they need to kind of decide what they want to do. Do they want to pressure the tank, or do they want to break line of sight? Boomer is waiting behind the walls, which I like that they're switching up the positions. Boomer tries to vomit over the wall, but he's not able to do so, and he gets shut down. Hunter going for a damage pounce. Smoker tries to get separation. Nice 25 damage pounce there onto Ellis in the corner. And some separation onto Coach. No rocks landed, but there was a 25 damage pounce onto Ellis, who may have to use his medkit there. Tank is at 5,000 health. So he's lost a little bit, but not nearly enough. They need to keep up the pressure. They have a jockey up so far, the final spawns will be up in a second. So, Smoker, Jockey, and Charger. So it looks like they're breaking line of sight. Tank is on 50%, but he's still on his first pass. Smoker is spawned up as well as a Charger. Smoker is shut down before he can land on anybody. Jockey is shut down as well as the Charger, so everybody's shut down and no rock landed. So now they need to decide, are they going to push or are they going to hide? One or the other, which it looks like they're going to do a mix of both. 50% frustration on his first pass. He's now moved down to 4,600 health. So they're doing some damage, but not really enough. Tank is at 4,400 health and dropping. Hunter is spawned up, going to try and get another damage pounce, I'm assuming. So they have a Boomer, Smoker, and a Hunter. They need the distraction here for the Boomer. Boomer's behind the gazebo, gets a boom onto two people from the gazebo. They need to clear this Boomer before he gets a boom. He gets a quad boom, and the rock landed. Not looking good. 4 people are boomed, and the tank can now move forward because they don't have a clue where he is. They're all focused on common infected right now because everybody's boomed. Coach needs to be careful, he barely dodges that rock. 4,400 health, but he's still on his first pass. The rock hits the tree there, so don't have to worry about that. 90% first pass, 4,400 health. He's doing good. This is very well played. Smoker gets some separation onto Ellis in the Smoker Charger combo. The Charger doesn't manage to land onto Ellis, but they need to clear this Charger. Ellis is slow again. Ellis actually has already used the medkit, and he's slow again. So they may have to use another medkit. Looks like they're going to try and push the tank, or maybe even push forward. But pushing forward is very risky actually, because there is a dumpster ahead, which the tank can use. They have another Boomer, which proved to be very good in the last attack. They have a Boomer, Smoker, and Jockey. Which the Boomer can actually spawn behind the gazebo, so they need to be careful of that. They're picking up some damage, but not really enough. He's still on 4,200 health. Smoker separates Ellis there, Jockey trying to cover. But they clear the boomer at least, so that's good. No rot landed yet, so the tank is on 4,100. He's only taken 100 damage in the last 30 seconds or so. And Ellis is slow in the back, so they need to be mindful of that. Tank at 4,000 health hasn't really been dropping very much, so they're going to look to push forward. They have a charger, a hunter, and a boomer. For this setup here, they're still in the same position. Boomer gets a nice boom over the wall there onto 1. Charger misses his target. Hunter is trying to go for a damage bounce here from the invisible walls there. And he lands it. Yeah, it's good enough, I guess. Everybody is at about 50% health. The tank rock barely misses there. They're not looking in a good position here. He's throwing the rocks very high so they don't see them. But they do actually see it there and clear it very nicely. So they have 3 medkits, but everybody is quite low. They now have a smoker boomer. Smoker's going to get separation onto Nick there. Tank is going to move in onto Nick. He is now slow, so he's easy pickings. They're going to in-cap Nick after this final punch here. Gets a nice double punch as well. Hunter moving in, but might get shut down. Tank is going to retreat now on 2,000 health. He's curving the rock round, but he's not able to get anybody. Nice boomer onto 2 people. Smoker onto Coach, getting some separation. Tank lands a rock onto him, which will slow him down, and he will be in-capped as well. So 2 people in-capped. Boomer is now moving in, but he's not able to replenish his boom on anybody. Tank moving in onto Ellis there. I like that decision. He's going to in-cap Ellis as well. 3 people down. Or 2 people down.
Also pick it up with Coach.
Yep, Rochelle managed to pick Coach up there, so there's 2 people up, 2 people down. So far they have a jockey and a hunter.
Nikki's dead.
Yep, indeed. Ellis is nearly dead as well. Jockey moving in onto Coach in the distance there, as well as Hunter. They might get a dual cap, which they do. And Jockey's going to secure the in-cap there. Yep, that is the wipe. They nearly have 1,000 points of a deficit here. Team number 1. So all in all, it's looking good for Team Favoured. Now we'll be moving on to the Parish Map 3, which has quite a few choke points. You know, there are quite a few. You've got the sewer, you've got the ladder with the alarm cars. You've got cars for the tank to hit in most locations. So we're going to have to see how they play. They need to really step up the game here because they are on a very big deficit. So they need to kind of wipe the survivors as near to the safe room as they can. To the first safe room, obviously. You're not going to let them get distance. Survivors, aka Team Favoured, are ready. I'm going to get the spec code up. So we have a hunter, spitter, jockey, and a boomer. All the separation they can hope for is dependent on the jockey. So they need to get a good boom to distract them for the jockey. I'm assuming the hunter will go in first for some distraction. Both the hunter and the jockey are above the safe room. The infected are already ready. So we have 3 people spawned up already. Survivors are moving out. Jockey moving in first to get some distraction, but the boomer doesn't manage to get his rocket boom there. Hunter trying to retreat, but he's already very low, as well as the spitter. The boomer's struggling a little bit here. Hunter is shut down, so there's a boomer and a spitter up, but nobody else. Rocket in from the boom gets onto 1 person, but only 1 person. There is a spitter remaining, but he's the only remaining infected right now. He's going to try and get some delay, but he's not able to get in the appropriate spot. So the spitter is going to die here. 1 spawn coming up, which will be a jockey. Second spawn coming up. They have a charger and a hunter, so they have a jockey charger hunter combination, which might either be a boomer or a spitter. I'm not sure which actually. It might be a boomer because the spitter died last. Charger moving in, getting a double charge. Jockey tries to get some cover. Hunter gets shut down, so the charger and the jockey got some damage, but not
Boomer a bit
really.
late.
Yeah, boomer a bit late actually. Yeah, he's gonna try and move back and get a respawn. So they're already covering good distance here. I'm gonna respect it to get the points accurate. And there we are. So they're moving into the house here. They have, I think I just heard a witch. Yep, there is a witch ahead. Spitter moving in for some delay. Gonna spit in the middle of them as well as a smoker. Gonna try and pull them into the spit. So some damage, but they're all dead. And the witch is ahead, so they're gonna be able to clear this witch as long as they play it correctly.
Nick with the shotgun.
Yep, he's gonna get the crown. Just like that, 25 points awarded already. A very good crown as well, because it was 1,365 damage and the witch has 1,000 health. So he overkilled her there.
Chucky was trying to get Nick. Fail it.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get that, so he's Jockey is now dead, so they only have 3 infected spawns here. Boomer tries to get the rocket, but he clips onto the roof. Still gets a boom anyway onto 2 people. Hunter in the back lands onto a coach, but Rochelle is there to rescue him. They have a spitter, as well as a smoker for this either the sewer attack or the ladder attack. It depends what they go for here. The smoker might try and get somebody separated in the back, because you can't actually get back up the sewer. If one person is pinned above and the other 3 people are below, that person above is dead. So they might try and do that. They have 1 person down, which will be Rochelle, the lowest HP survivor. Smoker's going to try and get somebody, but he's not able to. They all drop at the right time. Spitter is going to try and separate them, but 3 people are dead now. 2 people, sorry. There's a boomer and a smoker waiting. They're gonna have to attack above here. The point distance is increasing more and more. The boomer tries to get a boom before they drop up. Only a smoker remaining. He's gonna smoke Nick at the top there. They're gonna set off an alarm car, so they have a little bit of horde to deal with. But again, the infected are very staggered right now, so they need to try and synchronize their attacks.
Another one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice bomb.
Yep. Tank as well as the horde. Now they might not be able to make it up here in time, and that's going to be devastating for them if they can't. But obviously the tank has to wait for the for the bombing. Yeah, they're going to have to go up here because the tank can't actually get up yet. Oh, he's able to. Yeah, he can. He can go through. He can ignore the laws of everything and just go through.
Yeah, but he could have failed that because you will lose HP if the survivors get reached to the top of the bridge.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a dangerous spot, but kind of not at the same time, because they can use all those pillars there to dodge the car. We have a charger so far. They're going to try and clear these commons to the best of their ability. Coach is at half health, but they have a set of pills for him if they need to give them to him. Tank is going to move in here. He's going to try and pin somebody first. He's going to pin Ellis into the corner there and potentially get the in-cap. Rochelle is swiping at the tank there. There's a charger spitter, a charger hunter, a charger smoker combination, sorry. There's an in-cap and 3 people are nearly down. 1 punch into everybody could end this, and this is what they're going to need. 3 people down, 1 person remaining, 1 person left. They might be able to kill the tank. They do kill the tank. Oh no! There's a boomer remaining. They need to get some delay here. They get a boom onto 1 person. Ellis is going to leave the boom survivor though and try and revive the other people. They get a spitter. Spitter's going to try and delay. He's going to spit onto Nick there to try and delay them from reviving him. They might need to use all of their medkits here. Charger lands onto Ellis, stops him from reviving the survivor. Nice smoke there onto Coach as well. So one person's taking pills, but they have 4 medkits. Hunter's trying to get a damage bounce. Nice delay there onto Nick. Everybody is low. They nearly got the wipe there, and they needed one more punch, which would have actually wiped them, but they
There's one
managed
bills
to...
in the ambulance.
Indeed. Hunter just barely misses his damage bounce there. Charger moves in, gets a charge onto Coach. Looks like they're going to use all of their medkits, well, nearly all of their medkits. They've got 2 medkits remaining. All of the temporary health survivors have used their set of pain pill. That was so close, that could have been their chance for a comeback here. Boomer tries to get a boom, but he gets shut down just below there. Survivors are going to continue swiftly moving forward.
Hey, look out!
So we have a hunter, a smoker, and a spitter so far. We've got this this little cemetery. So it's kind of devastating, but they need to make sure they communicate and synchronize. Smoker's going to try and get some separation, but the tongue is cut. The survivors are in a good position here. Jockey trying to get some separation. Hunter moves in for a damage bounce, gets shut down. Jockey gets shut down as well. The spit is too far away, so no delay coming out of it. They could even make it to the safe room here if they're quick enough. So they're all going to move very quickly, and it looks like they may actually make it, providing they're fast enough. The first spawn is in 8 seconds, and there's not many common infected ahead, so they're going to make it to the safe room here, as long as they get in quickly. Which they will do just that. They'll make it to the safe room. 2 medkits, so that's 50 points. The Boomer tries to get some delay, but he's not able to. So there you have it. They have a huge point advantage here.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit harder to come back.
Mm. Uh-oh. The one set coming out of Mini there, which hopefully it's not a big delay. As it currently stands, we have Team Favoured on 2,050 points versus Team Number 1 on 314. So the potential for a comeback is very, very slim. What they need to do here is basically do everything perfectly. They need to make it with 4 medkits. But bearing in mind they have a tank in a position where there might be a lot of horde, that might not even be possible. You know, they're going to have to use 1 medkit somewhere. But you know, I'm not gonna say it's impossible. They could make it with all 4 medkits, but they need to play it very, very well. They have a few sets of pain pills which they're going to be collecting on the way. They should have about 3 actually. Well, 1 before the tank fight. But providing they deal with the tank fight, it depends on what they do. Really, they can either go up, which they might be able to. But it depends if they get delayed or not. If they get any significant delay, then they might not be able to make it to the ambulance. Everybody's readied up, so we have a Boomer, Hunter, Spitter, and Jockey. 1 survivor moving out so far. Boomer gets a rocket, but he gets shut down mid-air. Nice little shutdown there. The spawns are going to move in. They're trying to go for the guy in the safe room, but the guy in the safe room, Rochelle, there, clears everybody. Very well played by Muda there, looking like the MVP for Team Number 1. Landing a damage pounce for 25 in map 2. And overall showing some very good survivor gameplay. They're going to continue to move forward here, basically unscathed apart from Nick, who took maybe about 8 damage. 9 damage actually. We have a Charger, Jockey, Hunter, and a Boomer, so we have a nice little tri-cap for when they move forward. A Boomer going from below Gets a boom onto one person, they notice him before he can get any more. Hunter moving in, as well as a charger. Charger gets a charge onto one, a stumble onto the other. The two people above are not able to get down. They need to clear this charger, but the charger has already managed to get 50 damage onto Muda there, aka Rochelle.
Hey, seriously?
They're gonna have to keep moving forward here. They've already moved into the metal shacks and into the caravan, but they have this house attack. There is a witch ahead on the road, so either the infected are going to attack before or at the witch. Depends what they do. They have a hunter, charger, boomer, and a spitter. Oh no! The witch completely bugged out there. They get a charge onto Ellis in the back and the spitter combo. He's going to take some significant damage there. But unfortunately the witch is going to bug out and die. I think she got a bit confused there. She didn't know who to go for, so she just said, "No, I'm out." Coach is in the back here. They need to be careful of that. They need to make sure that they're watching the back. They might try and separate Coach in the back. And looks like they're going to all regroup, actually, so they won't be able to get any separation.
About to smoke again, Coach.
Oh, he did, yeah. In the back. The Hunter's moving in. Get some cover.
Oh, he's gonna trick up.
They might treat.
Oh, it is.
Oh no. That's
Nice.
it. Ellis is going to have to run forward because he can't move back up. That's what I was saying. Everybody above is dead. Only Ellis is alive. He's going to move forward. This could be a quick round here, actually. Which, you know, obviously 3 people versus 1, or even 4 people versus 1. It's not looking good for Ellis. He's all alone. Hunter moving in from below. He might get shut down here. He's kind of hiding in the darkness. Hunter moves in again. He might get shut down, though. Everybody's moving in. It's not looking good. Everybody's trying to get Ellis here. Smoker seals the deal. Oh, the jockey does, actually. He steals the credit. And there you have it. I'm going to have to say, right here and now, the chance for a comeback is virtually impossible by this point. So it's looking more and more likely that Team Favoured will be the winners of this this match, which they will be very happy about if they secure the win, because as I said in map 1, this is a single elimination by this point. The person who loses here, or the team who loses here, is going to lose permanently.
Reloading.
But who knows? Maybe a miracle will happen,
Reloading.
and maybe they'll win somehow. But again,
Or maybe someone is resetting the score.
something could happen, but not looking likely. Team Favoured are just looking very strong here. You know, you could almost say that I'm favouring them right now. Ha, ha, ha. Number 1 are needing some time here to sort out their lurk. I can sort of understand really why they would make sure that the lerps are normalized, because what can happen is when the tank is has 100 lerp, he can punch you, but on your screen he punches from a lot further away. Back in the day, actually, you could actually increase your lerp to 500 when you were the tank, which meant that you will punch the survivors away, even though you're like several meters in the distance. It was very devastating, actually.
Yeah, but the 500 is too much. You cannot play with that.
No, as tank, it's very good, but otherwise it's very very hard to play with. But nonetheless, it gave a huge advantage for the tank. For this initial attack, we have a Boomer, Jockey, Splitter, and a Hunter. So not the best attack, but they can make it work if they synchronize everything properly. Both teams are readied up. Both teams are going to be moving out. Splitter has already spawned. The Boomer's going from the same spot. Needs to be careful that the Boomer doesn't get caught on the ladder there. Gonna respect it because my scores are a bit bugged. Nick is in the house to the left. And Rochelle is patiently waiting as well, watching the roofs. Splitter's gonna spit in immediately. Boomer did get caught on the ladder, but he lands a boom anyway. Splitter's gonna try and get some scratches. Everybody is down. So Team Favoured are gonna keep moving forward here.
Reloading.
Barely any damage done to them. There's only 2 points on the infected team. 98 HP is the lowest HP they have right now. Everybody else is 100. Oh no, they've broken it. Somebody took some damage. Now they have 98 and 96. So far, the infected have a Hunter, Boomer, Charger, and Jockey. Charger moving in, but he misses everybody and gets shut down. Hunter tries to get a damage pounce, but he's not able to get anything. The Boomer fails the rocket boom. He's going to go from inside instead. Gets the boom onto Ellis because he's distracted. The Jockey moves in, tries to get somebody, but he is not looking likely. So he's going to be shut down as well. It looked like a decent attack, but the Charger started off by missing, so unfortunately it all went downhill from there. Survivors are going to keep moving forward. The tank is at 40%, which is going to be fairly soon. Now, actually, even. They're already in the pool room, which is the perfect place to fight the tank here.
Tank is trying to get the dumpster.
Yeah, I see. It's kind of possible, but basically impossible because it's very difficult to do. Boomer gets a nice boom from below onto 2 people. Really, if I was them, I would send the tank in right now. Unfortunately, the spawns have already gone in though. The Charger and the Hunter are dead. They probably should have waited for the tank to go in before they sent the infected in there. Boomer's looking to go back to try and get a respawn. They're trying to curve the rocks round, but not able to do so. 5,778 health on the tank. 80% frustration on his second pass, actually, so he needs to go in soon. Need to figure out what they want to do. The Boomer's going to wait from below, try to get another boom in. They need to send the tank in now, otherwise he's going to go to AI. He's moving in with 5%. The Boomer doesn't manage to get a boom this time around. Charger and Jockey moving in from the stairs. Charger lands onto 1. Tank is going to switch his focus onto Ellis, but he is now too far away. Boomer's moving in, trying to get a proxy somehow, but he's not able to get anybody so far. He gets the boom onto Rochelle. Tank is 89 health though, and he's going to go to AI soon, which is going to automatically send him in. So they played it very well. They just need to get a few more shots onto him and then he's down. And he is down, exactly. Distance points are now unfrozen. Team Favoured are going to keep moving forward. They're looking very strong, you know, they really are. I think what happened was, from the previous game, they really stepped up their game. And made sure that they kept the communication up and worked on the mistakes that they made last time in order to come back into this game a lot stronger. So far, well, not so far, we have a Splitter, Smoker, Hunter and a Boomer for this attack here. Hunter is looking to go for some damage pounces. We have a very devastating crescendo here, but you know, by this point they have actually basically secured the win. Hunter tries to get some distraction here. Smoker is on the tree below. Boomer gets a boom from below onto 2 people, but they're above, so they don't have to worry yet. Hunter tries to catch somebody out by getting a damage pounce as they slip out, but he wasn't able to get anything that time. He tries again, but he lands on top of the doorway. Boomer is still up below, just waiting for his recharge on the vomit. If they can get some separation with the Smoker here, that could actually open up some good chances.
I think the Survivor already know the Smoker is below them.
Yeah, they also know the Boomer is there, and he is now popped. So they no longer have a Boomer. Hunter still waiting. They only have a Spitter, Smoker, Hunter. They clear the tongue very quickly. 14 damage points onto Rochelle there in the back. They separate Rochelle, but thankfully for them, Ellis is still up there.
But you can pick it up.
Yeah, they could also pick her up anyway. Jockey's going to try and move in from the back here, but he's not able to get anybody. He lands onto Ellis, but then gets cleared immediately. Ellis is already very low, so they're going to want to switch their focus onto the higher HP targets. They've activated the Horde here. They have a Boomer and a Charger, followed by a Spitter. So they have a Charger-Spitter combo, as well as a Boomer maybe from below, or wherever. He's going to rocket down, land onto Ellis in the bottom there. Ellis is going to stay at the bottom and clear the Horde that goes for him, because that means that the Horde will not go for anybody else, just him. Charger moving in for the people above. He lands onto Rochelle, but is cleared immediately. Nice little spit down there. Oh, actually, he goes for Ellis instead of Rochelle. You see, he is basically absorbing the damage, which is what they want. They want the lowest HP guy on their team to be taking the damage, because that basically improves their chances of making it, because they don't have to use the medkits. If all the damage is going on to one person, then it's a lot better for them. They have a Hunter, Boomer, Jockey, and a Smoker. Smoker tries to get some separation here, which is basically the way to win this, is to separate them with the Smoker. Jockey from the back, he's nearly dead actually. Hunter lands onto Nick. Boomer gets a boom onto Nick on the roof there before he dies. They only have a Smoker now though. It's basically up to the Smoker. If the Smoker does not land, then they'll make it. They cut the tongue and clear the Smoker. Yeah, there's a witch ahead, but Krychak, aka Nick, is moving forward.
Nick failing.
He doesn't get the crown, actually. So they won't get the bonus points for that. He gets 648 damage onto the witch, so he doesn't quite get as good of a crown as he did last time. Spitter tries to delay. He gets a delay onto Coach there in the back, but it won't matter too much. Hunter's moving in, trying to land the pounce onto Coach in the back. He gets shut down. Boomer lands a boom onto Nick in the distance there. Charger moving in onto Nick, gets a scratch followed by a pummel, and that's going to incapacitate Nick. But all they need to do now is revive Nick, and he can take his pills, and then they can keep moving forward. And could even make it to the safe room here. So all in all, they're playing perfectly, you know? If they can make it on this map as well, then they have achieved a lot out of this game. Smoker, Jockey, and a Spitter up so far. Final spawn coming up in 1 second, which will be a Boomer. Arguably, like I say, the worst setup in the game. Smoker's going to try and separate somebody into the room there, but they shut the door on his face. Boomer gets a nice boom onto 3 people. Jockey moving in, lands onto Ellis, and he's in the spit as well. Smoker gets some separation onto him, so everybody's piling onto Ellis, and he is green HP, and he's now moved down to red, so they did really good there. Very well played infected attack there, actually, because really, Jockey, Smoker, Boomer, and a Spitter is arguably the worst setup, but every time you say that, you end up doing really good with it like that.
Black and white.
But he has 50 HP so far, so he needs to make sure he doesn't go down. Charger moving in, gets shut down, as well as the Spitter before he can get a spit. The Hunter moving in. Wall pouncing, trying to be a pain, but he gets shut down. He gets skeeted. Only the Jockey up in the back. Jockey's going to move in and get shut down as well, so that's it. They're going to make it to the safe room here because they have 17 seconds, or well, 5 seconds technically, but that'll be the first spawn.
And 3 medkits.
Yep, and 3 medkits too, so they've played so well. Nearly getting 3,000 points here. 75 points away from getting 3,000 points, compared to what is currently 654 for team number 1. This will be the final round of the final map of this this little tournament match here. And for this setup, we have a Boomer, Hunter, Spitter, and a Jockey. Everybody's readied up, so it looks like we're going to leave the safe room fairly quickly here. Well, we're not going to, they are. We're going to watch them leave the safe room. See, even though they have lost, it doesn't matter. They can still put up a good performance here. I'd like to see them make it to the safe room. I know they're capable, and I really want to see them do that. Hunter is pouncing around above, trying to get a damage pounce, or even some just distraction. Boomer's going to try and go from the same spot as the Spitter there, above them. Hunter's still waiting, still distracting. They're going to be very patient with this attack. You want to attack when you want to, not when the survivors want you to. That's the thing. Jockey moving in for the guy in the back there, which will be Rochelle. Hunter trying to get some separation in the front there, but he gets shut down. Very nicely done. It looked like it was going to go badly, but it didn't. They actually shut down the attack very well there. And they're going to continue moving forward. They can cover some good distance as long as they keep moving. This is the thing, actually, though, is that they are taking too long to move forwards with the Horde. You don't want to stand still in a Horde. You want to move forward and keep clearing it. On the go. There's a Charger, Boomer, Hunter, and the final spawn will be a Spitter. They'll either attack here or inside. The tank is coming up soon, so I would attack now, which is what they're doing. Charger lands as well as a spit onto Coach.
Boomer doesn't get the spawn.
Yeah, he missed the spawn there. But Coach took a lot of damage anyway. Coach has 44 health. Boomer lands onto 2 people. Tank will be up fairly soon. Which will be now. So even though the Boomer landed, it won't really matter because the Horde is about to be cleared by now. Tank in the hand of Rhodey, who's also going to try and move the dumpster in, but, you know, it's a lot of precision, and it's very hard to do. Nice little survivor play there, actually, which I just missed, with the Boomer being popped and the Hunter getting shut down. I'm just seeing if he can actually get the dumpster in. I mean, it would be amazing. Very close, actually. He can still do that. There we go. It's in a good angle. He's got it in. It's in. Oh, I like it. I really like that.
He was gonna back up.
The dumpster is in play. The dumpster is inside the pool room. This is one of the first times I've ever seen it actually pulled off. So credits to Rhodey there for actually managing to get that in. He's trying to get an in-cap, but unfortunately the pool tables are making it very difficult.
Oh,
He
wow,
gets 2
2
in-caps.
down.
Brilliant. Absolutely amazing. That's the highlight of the whole tournament, really. I mean, that's incredible. 3 people down. Oh, that is the highlight of the tournament there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you stayed around to see that. He actually managed to get the dumpster inside the pool room and in-cap 3 people with it. Absolutely amazing. So there you have it, folks. Team Favoured will take the victory with 2,925 points compared to team number 1 on 866. So a fairly significant margin. But nonetheless, I don't believe that number 1 played all too badly. They did some very good plays there, but they weren't able to make it a win. So thank you for tuning in, guys. I really hope that you didn't leave prematurely. I hope that you stayed around to see that dumpster play. That was really, really well done. I'm very glad that I got to see somebody do that.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, very good play. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time. We'll be signing out now.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.